Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a little product review. I feel like I've been YouTubing enough to have a little bit of opinion on these two cameras. I've got the GoPro Hero 11 and I've got the DJI Osmo Action 3 camera. So this is the Moto Vlogger's Guide to the best action camera. So as you can see in the picture, I've got an extra camera there. I've got a GoPro 11, an Osmo Action 3 camera, and also an Insta360 X2 camera, which at the end of this program, I'm going to tell you what I think that camera is best used for. So for those that are subscribed to my channel will know exactly what I do. It's moto vlogging, riding around on motorcycles, creating content for you. So first things first, let's see how easy it is to mount these cameras to the helmet. So with the Action 3 camera, the camera just pops on with the magnetic mount. And as for the GoPro, there's a little bit more work involved. So for me personally, I think the Action 3 camera is the better camera to mount on your helmet, just for ease. And if you get a second mount like one of these ram claws that you can have on your handlebars or on your crash bars to get that different field of view, they just pop on, really secure, and again, dead simple, dead easy to use. So the other thing I think it's really important to mention is how easy it is to press the button when you've got gloves on. So what I have here is many pairs of gloves, and we're going to go for, let's try these, the winter ones. So these being the winter gloves, they're the biggest, thickest gloves, so it'll make it the hardest to press the button, but which button will be easier to press? Okay, let's start with the Osmo Action 3. I mean, both the buttons are in very similar places on the GoPro 11 and the Action 3. The button on the Action 3 does look like slightly smaller. I just managed to press that down. That's on, and now that's recording. Okay, one thing you need to know is this button on the Action 3 is quite hard to press down with winter gloves on. And the fact when you've got it mounted on your chin or elsewhere on your bike, thinner gloves is obviously better, but if you're going to ride and film in the winter, then you're going to need something that's going to be easy to press to get that action. So let's try it now with the GoPro Hero 11. So I've got to say that is a lot easier with this camera. It's got a bit more circumference on the button, it's a little bit softer, and it presses down nice and easy, which is super important when you have got gloves on. So GoPro's the clear winner in that test. So I have been using both of them cameras on the helmet and also attached to the camera mount on the bike, and yeah, the GoPro is a lot easier to operate when you've got gloves on, which again is super important for us moto vloggers. So let's talk batteries. You've got your GoPro 11 battery. This is the Enduro battery, and that'll last 89 minutes if you're filming in 1080, and for the Action 3 camera you'll get a whopping 160 minutes. So also with the Action 3 camera you can buy one of these 3 battery holders that you can charge your batteries up on the fly, and it also doubles up as a power bank. So the problems start with a GoPro when you want to remove the battery. So this is where the problem lies with me. Once I've detached it from the helmet, I then have to remove it from the media mod because I have to have a mic attached, and you can't do it without having the media mod. So you then have to remove the camera from the mod in order to take the battery out. Which when you're at the roadside and you've got your gloves on, to take everything off, take your helmet off, get the mount off, take the media mod off, take the battery out, get the new battery out, put the new battery in and put it all back together and then set off riding again, it's a little bit of a faff. So if you're not using audio at all and you don't require the media mod, then you'll absolutely be fine with that, and you can lift the side door up and pop a new battery in. Whereas for the Action 3 camera, you can literally just slide the door open, pop a new battery in, and you're ready to go again. So the Action 3 camera doesn't have a place to put this little 3.5mm audio jack. Instead, you're going to need one of these, which is a female TRS cable to USB-C cable, and that just clips into there and plugs into the side of the camera, and you're good to go. Right, so this is the audio test for the DJI Osmo 3 Action. I'm going to let you decide which one you think is the best. Right, so this is the audio test for the GoPro Hero 11. You let me know which one you think sounds the best. Right, okay, so I think the GoPro 11 does sound the best, the audio, but that doesn't mean it's the best camera. I've had problems with the GoPros, mainly with the GoPro 9s. I've gone from a 9 to 11. The GoPro 9, I've lost a lot of footage. They either get too hot and just shut down, or the microphone just stops working. I've tried multiple microphones and different ways to sort of adapt the camera to keep it cooler, but I'll be honest, it's not the best. I would probably say 80%, maybe 85% of the time your camera will work, but for me personally, and I know other people have had this problem, the audio can just shut down, which is not good. The Action 3 camera also has its own problems. You can turn the gain down so much, but not enough that the mic will still clip out. Because you've got the microphone so close to your mouth, it will go into the red zone and just start clipping out. It's even worse when you drop the visor down. You will just lose audio more or less completely. So I'm not going to get into too much of the technical specifications on these cameras. They're both good cameras, but they both do have those little issues. I'm just trying to help you, if you're going to buy one of these things, to make the right decision on what you're going to use it for. So if you're after a camera where you're not too fussed about the audio, then this is the camera to go for. The Osmo Action 3 camera. You can mount it in different positions. It's dead easy to clip off like I showed you. A little bit harder to press the button, but thinner gloves will overcome that. The battery life is absolutely superb, and if you buy the extra batteries, it will last you all day. As for me, I would have to choose the GoPro Hero 11. Even though it still has its problems with overheating and things like that, to overcome that you can actually remove the battery out of the camera and run a power pack. A lot of people tend to do that to stop it overheating if you're going to run for continuous time. In the winter it's not too bad, obviously it's cooler outside in the UK, but in hotter countries it'd be interesting to know if you've had some of the problems with this. But for me, because the audio is nice and crisp and clear, then I'm going to stick with this one for now. Right, before we go, I want to introduce this little fella. It's the Insta360 camera X2. It's been out a little while now. I think there's a newer version, the X3 out. This has been a brilliant little camera. It's not the sort of camera you'd want to sort of mount on your helmet, but getting that 360 degree view is absolutely brilliant, and the way I like using this camera is on track. There's so much you can do with this camera. If you're out with your mates on the track, or even on the road for that matter, you can do a tracking system on it where it follows them as it comes up, and you can get some great footage. It's a fisheye sort of effect lens, but you can sort of zoom out and give you that sort of perspective that the camera's a lot further away from you. This has been brilliant. The battery life's really good. I'd definitely say if you want to get the best audio out of this, if you're out on track, it is a bit noisy with the wind it picks up. So if you're after that crisp audio, then you can plug a little microphone in here and have that buried somewhere so it's out of the wind, and that comes out absolutely fantastic now. But these are great cameras for mounting elsewhere on the bike as well. There's quite a lot of editing involved. I'd suggest you check out the editing if you're thinking about buying something like this before you go and buy it. It's not as straightforward. One of the problems I find is when I have it mounted on my handlebars and using this as the camera forward camera facing, you've got to edit within the 360 software before you edit into the sort of software you're using. It does take a lot of time. It has got a very good app on the phone, so if you're out on track and stuff like that, you can literally just take clip hits once you get used to using the app. Again, absolutely fantastic, and you can ping that up to your social media straight away, so definitely worth checking something like this out as well. So I hope you've enjoyed my little brief product review and guide to the Moto Vloggers ride. So I hope you liked the video, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Give us a like, and I'll see you in the next one.